Good day, everyone, my dear teachers. Yes, so we're here. It's Friday, so it's about time to do some reflection. First thing to do is that I would like to request from you to do some reflection for 45 minutes. And what is this all about? I want you to reflect on what transpired last Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday during the NLC implementation first week. So can you do that?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, please have it in 45 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Noted, sir.
Now we have consumed 45 minutes for our reflection. This time, let's proceed to step 1, collaborative discussion and sharing, focusing on content and teaching learning episode. May we hear from you what transpired during the teaching learning engagement last Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? Who would
Yes,
like to
sir.
start?
Sir,
Yes, Ma'am Jen.
yes, I'm teaching grade 10 consolidation camp. And along the process, we know we are given the 5 components to follow. We have our lesson review, lesson purpose, lesson practice, activities, and conclusion. And I believe that during my lesson, I could actually improvise and perhaps contextualize that will actually cater to the needs of my learners.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Chen. You are pointing out the 5 components in the implementation of the National Learning Camp. Who else would like to share? Yes, Sir Julius.
For this grade 7 consolidation in English, I have rendered a story, and that story touches the local culture. So I am actually incorporating indigenized materials, and I also engage students to define difficult terms with varied or myriad activities along the way. So I'm also make sure that it becomes catchy and interesting and meaningful learning experience.
Thank you so much, Sir Julius, for sharing that one. It's really impactful in the lives of our learners if we put our lesson into context. Thank you, sir. Who else?
Sir.
Ma'am Glo, would you like to say
Yes,
something?
sir. Yes. With regards to pedagogy or teaching strategy of my lesson in the grade 7 consolidation camp, it was very well presented, sir, because the objectives of my lessons were aligned with the instructional materials being utilized. The same is true with the assessment. It was executed in a very creative way, sir, because my learners are very much participative and cooperative.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, Ma'am Glo. You know what? You highlighted the term alignment. So that's really important in implementing NLC, that we really have to observe the alignment from content and even that of our learning targets.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ma'am Glo. We're done with our step 2. We have just shared and listened to the members of the group talking about content and teaching learning episode. This time for step 3, we are going to have a collaborative discussion and sharing, highlighting student performance. Anyone from this group, from this team would like to share? Yes, Sir Ray.
Sir, I was really happy because my learners in grade 7 intervention were really active and engaged in
Oh,
my
that's great.
class because maybe of the strategies and activities that I've given them.
Yes, Sir Ray. So I'm very happy that you have just shared that in your grade 7 intervention, they were very participative and active. So Sir Ray, congratulations for that.
Yes, sir.
As well as to the others, right?
Yes.
Let's proceed. Who would like to share more relative to student performance? Yes, Ma'am Ida.
Yes, sir. I'm handling grade 7 consolidation, and I'm very happy to report that during the speaking practice part, they were very engaged, and the group dynamics was good. But also, I would like to make it better the next time. to vary the interactions.
Mm.
So perhaps I can do small groups or even pair work for the speaking practice part.
Yes, Ma'am Ida. So that's impressive, Ma'am Ida, that you focus on the speaking skill of our learners, and then you also mentioned that for the coming weeks, for 2 weeks more for the implementation of our NLC, you will give varied activities. Ma'am Ida, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, one more I think would like to. Yes, Sir Jay.
As for my class, sir, by the way, I'm handling grade 7 intervention camp as well. One interesting occurrence in my class is on the part where the learner's experiences were tapped. I like this part because learners were able to communicate their ideas based on their experience related to the topic. Apart from merely acquiring the competency, this part of the lesson also made the lesson more meaningful for the students.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sir Jay. You know what? The time that we engage our learners by letting them share their experience, that would become the content more meaningful to them.
Exactly.
Sir Jay, keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
That's great. So we have heard so much from the team. Let's proceed to step 4. This is still on the collaborative discussion and sharing, highlighting teachers' perspective. This time, who would like to share?
Sir?
Ma'am Irene, yes.
In my intervention class in English 7, I noticed learners are having a hard time catching up with the lesson because clearly they lack essential skills, especially in reading, which is needed for the lesson presented. However, they are very eager to learn considering the fun-filled activities that is embedded in the lesson made the topic of interest to them.
So, yes, Ma'am Irene, at least we have done something for these learners who belong in the intervention camp. So, thank you so much, Ma'am Irene, for doing an extra mile for these learners. Who would like to share more? Yes, Sir Nover.
Yes, sir. I'm handling enhancement class, and I'm happy to report that my students did well in our class. Since, as you noticed, most of the students there are in an advanced class, and they've actually exceeded my expectations. So if I would rate them from 1 to 10, I would definitely give them a rate of 10.
Wow, that's great, Sir Nover.
Yes,
Still,
sir.
would like to say
Yes,
more?
of course, their outputs are beyond my expectations. Those outputs were a product of creative and resourceful minds, since the students were able to come up with very good and creative outputs.
Yes. So here we know that NLC is not only focusing to a certain group. At least we cater all the needs of our learners, even in the enhancement camp. Sir Nover, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, who would like to share more for this particular step, which is on teacher's perspective? Yes, Sir Gerald.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, hello teachers. I'm
Yes,
happy to
good
hear
morning.
that in my grade 7 consolidation class, which happened yesterday, I observed that my students were really engaged and were really trying their best to understand the lesson. It's just that I observed that they still needed my assistance as their teachers. And I also observed that they would still prefer me to model the task before they do it. So that's it. But I'm really happy with their performance.
That's very good, Sir Gerald. Thank you for sharing that one. You mentioned about modeling. So it's really a good technique that you were able to present that to your learners, because I believe that they also needed that technique in order for them to learn better. Keep it up, Sir Gerald.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We have just listened to the different insights coming from you, dear teachers, from the content, teaching learning episode, to student performance, up to teacher's perspective. This time, shall we hear how about the week's celebration after the first week of implementation of the National Learning Camp? Who would like to share this time?
Sir?
Wow! Let's have Ma'am Jo this time to
Yes,
share.
sir. Good morning. The collaborative discussion among teachers of the same grade level is a great help for everyone, sir, since our lessons in the 3 camps and the 3 subjects were improved, along with our desire to improve performance of our learners, as well as the sharing of teaching strategies which I considered is one of the best practices during NLC.
That's very good, Ma'am Jo. You pointed out professional discussion like this. You know, collaborative expertise, discussion, and sharing would be very helpful to all of us in order for us to grow professionally in our field of work.
Yes, sir.
So thank you so much, Ma'am Jo, for sharing.
welcome.
Who else would like to share?
Sir.
Sir Gomer.
Yes, sir. In addition to what Ma'am Jo has said, no, I have observed that we, all of us, facilitated the exchange of knowledge and, of course, the best practices in our respective endeavors. No. So with this, we are doing hubs of the so-called innovation, hubs for innovation, and in delivering our mandates, which is to give quality education to our learners. So with this, I would say also that our collaboration every Monday and every Friday foster a sense of community among educators, among us, and of course with our students. With our students in creating and supporting network of individuals who are committed to adhering education and fostering lifelong learning.
Yes, Sir Gomer.
So with this, sir, I think we deserve a celebration. Congratulations to all of us.
Yes, thank you, Sir Gomer. You pointed out quality education. You also mentioned of you know, the collaborative expertise done every Monday and Friday would be very helpful to all of us. Thank you, Sir Gomer.
Yes, sir.
So this time we would like to share. I think there's still someone would like to share. It's you, Sir JM.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So since we're all doing great in the implementation of the NLC, I would like to suggest that we should have a quick celebration. So how about
Yes,
we go
great.
out
We love
for
that.
a cup of tea or
Yes.
milk tea and a box of pizza?
Yeah.
Because after all, we
I highly agree with you, Sir JM. How about the rest?
Yeah.
Yes, that's great, Sir JM. So I highly appreciate that suggestion. How about the rest? Okay. It's really true that, you know, we're done with our first week implementation of the NLC. So I think we truly deserve to have a break and a celebration. So that ends or concludes our collaborative expertise. But before we formally end, allow me to do a wrap up for this collaborative expertise. My dear teachers, dear colleagues, thank you so much for your sharing, you know, listening to the different insights that you have shared this day. Allowed us to improve better in our craft. So we are just done with the reflection. We did it in 45 minutes, and then that is also followed by sharing on what happened relative to content, teaching and learning episodes, to student performance, teachers' perspectives, and many more. So once again, allow me to thank all of you. We still have 2 more weeks for the implementation of NLC. Then let's give our best. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yun.
Yeah!